Why does this old cemetery include the graves of men who were executed and buried on the spot? On a recent visit to Old Town San Diego, California, I found a small cemetery in the southeast corner of the neighborhood. This is El Campo Santo, the Holy Field. Many of the graves date back to the mid-1800s. One of them seemed to get a lot of attention from papers on the park kiosk and plaques standing around the cemetery. The flat headstone reads, "Sacred to the memory of Antonio Garra Sr., a leader among his people, Cupeño Cavallam clan, died January 10, 1852. The paper on the kiosk reads, "Public executions were held here. A Native American tribal leader named Antonio Garra was executed for his involvement in trying to help his people from being taxed without representation. An uprising occurred, resulting in many lives lost." So who was he, and what happened here? To get more information, I checked the website for the Pala Band of the Mission Indians, plus library books in 2 different states. The book Native Tribes of North America describes the Cupeño as a small tribe of the Shoshonean family, who lived east of Lake Henshaw and west of the Santa Rosa Mountains, California. They probably numbered 500 when first encountered by the Spanish. Subsequently, they were missionized and reduced to the social status of near serfs during the Mexican and American periods. They probably number less than 150 people today, in 1992, but a few are still found on the Pala, Los Coyotes, and Morongo Indian reservations. The Pala Band of Mission Indians Reservation is located in northern San Diego County. Home to Cupeño and Luiseño Indians, who consider themselves to be one proud people, Pala. Before 1810, the Cupins had very little contact with outsiders, Spanish or otherwise. As the Spanish, Mexicans, and later the American trailblazers grew in number in the region, the Cupins began to work in serf-like relations to the newcomers. With the American seizure of Mexican California and the contemporaneous discovery of gold in the Sierra Nevada mountains came a migration of people from all over the world that was unique in history. Already vulnerable natives were even more exposed to abuse and bloodshed, especially in the absence of any meaningful form of government and law enforcement. The pioneers who trekked west through the southern route did so on a trail that ran directly through the Cupin territory. All did not go smoothly in San Diego during the 1850s. While the immigrants, settlers, prospectors, and sheep and cattle herders poured into California, tensions increased among the area's remaining Indians. Tensions mounted, and shortly after California was made a state in 1848, American officials in San Diego concluded that a reasonable source of revenue would be a taxation upon the Indians in the backcountry. Even though Native Americans were not citizens of the United States, a tax was levied upon their animals, property, and agriculture. San Diego County, in need of tax money, asked nearby Indians to each pay a $600 tax on their cattle and property. This taxation without representation was considered by many fair-minded people to be illegal and unjust. The Cupeños were forced to pay taxes based on the perceived value of their livestock that grazed on the land the tribe no longer owned, but they had no say in their governance. The conditions that led to the American Revolution were now in place in San Diego. While some Indians agreed to the demand, others decided to resist. A Cupeño named Antonio Garra attempted to unite Southern California Indians against all foreigners by organizing a revolt. Antonio Garra, born around 1800 in Southern California, a leader of the Garra Uprising, he attempted to halt white migration into California. Garra, his son, and a renegade American sailor named Bill Marshall were able to unify many of the Indian tribes of the region. In November 1851, Antonio Garra, the chief of the Copeños, incited his people to fight against white settlers. In Part 2, we'll look at how the fighting got started and how the uprising escalated. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel for new videos every week or two, and see the description below for the list of books and online resources featured in this video.